After return from El Calafate, Argentina to Chile, Puerto Natales, this is the cargo ship that I have booked from Puerto Natales to Puerto Montt. It's a cargo ship, but it has passengers deck also. And the ship has 8 decks, I think. There is 3 decks for passengers and then 5 decks for cargo. So we have to hand over the motorcycle, and there is some paperwork we have to do because this region is a duty free. While waiting on the deck area, I have met couple of US tourists.
What's your name?
Max.
Matt. This Mr. Matt, he is living in US and we happen to be meeting at the port. Thank you, sir. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you.
All right, enjoy your travel.
All right.
It's Mr. Danny, another biker from US, San Francisco. Looks like. So you are going towards Ushuaia?
Yeah, almost there now.
Oh
as you
yeah,
know.
he's
So,
going opposite of my trip, so I'm done.
Yeah.
It was nice talking to him. Especially, I was struggling to speak English to anybody. Nobody speaks English. That was nice talking to you.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
enjoy your trip. Good luck and careful. Like when you go closer to Ushuaia, the wind is
Is
pretty
super
hard.
strong.
Yeah, super strong.
And,
So
we make
keep
a
that
pretty
in
good
mind.
billboard,
Yeah.
don't we? Yeah, easy to
Yeah.
get knocked around.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
and good luck and enjoy your trip.
The ship was anchored in the cargo loading area. There was a lot of vehicles, a lot of cargo. There is so much loading activities going on. So there was around 10 motorcycle bikers who are traveling in the ship. We all have to do some paperwork with Adwana, that is the customs, and then hand over the key. Though the boat is leaving in the next day morning, they boarded all the passengers on the previous day night around 10 o'clock. So they issue, it's like almost some airport process, they issue boarding pass. And these are all the deck for the passenger cabin floor. They have multiple cabins. So the cabin which I took is a 8 bed, like a 4 bunker beds, but on that day there was not many people, and all the cabins are attached bathroom, and it's pretty clean and pretty good. They do the um, room service every day. They have a huge dining area where they serve meals 3 times, and there are coffee and tea 24 hours with the juice and water, and then people hang around on the cafeteria, and there are some entertainment option as well. So the breakfast is between 7 to 8, and lunch is 12 to 1, and the dinner also I think 7:30 to 8:30 something, and it's mostly buffet. It's not a very lavish meal, but it's a decent meals, and the staffs and the crew member, they are pretty humble, and they are very good. So this is the route that ship is sailing. It's through the Pacific side of Chile, where there is a lot of island, but they are not island. It's all mountain, like Patagonia mountains, and most of them, no man. There is no people living. Mostly, the only activity on this region is some fishing. So this region is very clean, and the water is so clean, and this area there is a lot of sea mammals like whales and dolphins, sea lions and otters, a lot of them. And but the wind is pretty heavy. Also, the temperature is pretty cold, and sometimes the ship goes through some narrow passages, which is really interesting. And there was a portion of the trip where it goes through the open sea, and that wind is really heavy, very severe, and the ship is really wobbling. We can feel that. But overall, It's a very unique experience and very interesting. Especially, I already had traveled in Amazon River. With that, this one is ultra luxury. So this is not as luxury as a cruise, but at the same time, it's not a purely cargo. It's like kind of integrated, and it's pretty interesting. There was a lot of Europeans and Americans, and they gave a first day. They gave some safety briefing and all the deck evacuation route, everything they walked through. But there you can kind of visit most of the decks except the cargo side, and there are a lot of places to walk around. The food is every day. It's a pretty decent food. It's not bad, and it's there is no internet, absolutely no internet. But in the cafeteria there is a TV, always plays some movie or some documentaries, and there are some gym equipments, and there is a long space that you can walk around with really a good winter cloth. So next, usually this trip takes 3 to 5 days, depends on weather. The captain mentioned wind is the biggest culprit of weather factor. Wind is a huge factor on this region. So it's kind of like it's a very unique and interesting experience. Not many people were speaking Spanish, but I found few guys. In fact, one of my roommate, he is from the Germany. He's a teacher. He speaks good English. And then I met Mr. Keenan and Karen from California and Alaska. They are the freelance photographer, natural photographer, and they do a lot of projects for National Geography. Plus, they are biologists also, very interesting people, and I'm so glad to meet them. And there was few after a day or two, we found some small town along the way. Other than that, we don't see people. Mostly some fishing and some other cruise and some other ship. That's it. But it's a very unique experience. Sunset in this region during this summer or spring is very late, almost 10 o'clock. So along the way, we can spot lot of sea lions and otters, sometimes dolphins. It's a very unique experience. And on the third day, the ship captain invited the interested people to the bridge, which is the ship control center. And he gave some briefing about the ship. The ship is pretty new. I heard it was 2019 built, but it was not the very latest equipment. But it's a decent technology, but it doesn't have state of the art technology. And this is one of my interesting area, and I was able to correlate the training we had it in the Panama Canal, the simulator, and most of the software and the electronic equipments. That was my interesting area. I spent quite some time in this bridge, that's a control center, to know more about the equipments and the software and the electronics. That's one very interesting experience that we had. Even he allowed me to sit in that captain's chair to take some photograph. Of course, we are not allowed to touch any of the control, but I had a chance to interact with the captain and the vice captain to know more about each instruments and the sonar and the other radar communication, everything. It was really a very excited experience for me, at least. The last day, in the night, we were allowed to go to the cargo deck, and we are allowed to check the motorcycle and the parking area, because I have left.
This is Mr. Keenan
And Karen.
Karen. They are celebrating.
And that's Singa.
Singara.
Singara.
And they are celebrating. I took like so many hours of their time.
No.
Very famous National Geography photographer, natural photographers. spent so much time in Alaska.
Yeah, all over the world. Every
Very,
continent.
very humble people. I really, really enjoyed, and I'm going to keep in touch. Unfortunately, you
Sounds
cannot
good.
access
Keep
it.
us-
That would be good. That would be good.
I will send my YouTube
us
channel. I have your email. I will keep
Keep
in
in touch.
Yeah.
That sounds
Thank
good.
you so much. I really appreciate
All right.
your time.
Yours
All right.
too.
Last day evening, as part of the entertainment, they had a small the bingo game, and there was some prizes and people played that. It's purely luck. Of course, I don't have any luck, but it was interesting to join the game. Fourth day morning, the ship reached the port, that is Port Montt, and we had a breakfast, and then we are allowed to go to the cargo area to pick up our motorcycle. There was a waiting to get our keys, and then from there I took the motorcycle. I started riding towards Santiago, which is 1,100 miles, but I decided to stay somewhere in